I want to ask you, so we can take one or two audience questions if you have. I know we're running a little late, but we'll catch up on time. Mr. Bector, you talked about where we are moving. Uh, if you had to predict three trends which will impact building businesses and building brands, what would those be? You already talked about, how to build sustainable businesses. You talked about innovation. You talked to me about knowing the power of your own brand.
Largely, entrepreneurs don't sometimes realize the power of the brand. These last 2-3 years, I think the big thing was that we realized the power of a brand. It's a very rare opportunity to get, actually. And I know of my colleagues in business, other brands that we compete with, or maybe not compete with, and we see them, not having realized that. And it's very important to understand that the value of the brand equity that we create in doing a good job is not really measured well. It's not measured well by today's tools. What we have experienced in the last 1 year is mind-boggling. I can't believe it. I'm standing in front of you with the type of growth rates after, with all my sense, and 3 generations of business telling me that we are folding tomorrow.
Yeah.
So that's
and
the
he was
power of a
telling me
brand.
privately how everyone advised him against increasing the price, and they increased the price by 20 to 30%.
No, well, prices went up by 40%.
40%.
We couldn't help it. Yeah.
And really that only helped the brand and helped the business. So clearly you're saying...
So you were talking to me about trends. I think health is going to be a trend for the future. That's one trend. The fact that it's a well-connected world and an increasingly connected world with 5G coming in is another thing that one needs to focus. That today's rate of change is not the rate of change of my time. Today's rate of change is dramatic. Today's business, the ways of conducting business are far, far more agile, and you have to be really up there. It's a super fast time.
Let me talk of a trend that I know personally, and it is very relevant, and you understand it too, is this move towards organic in everything. So how does it augur for packaged products? I live near your home, and I'm on a weight loss journey, and I'm very careful about what I eat and what time I sleep and how much I walk. And all that I calibrate. And one of the things is this whole movement toward organic, gluten-free. I live in Defense Colony, and there is a store called Nature Soul, near your daughter's store. And I went to the Nature Soul cafe, and I'm not, I ate in a pesto sauce salad, and my nutritional therapist really ticked me off for doing that, So this whole movement towards organic, freshly produced, how do you plan to capture on that?
Well, these are things that will happen. The move towards healthier options is very much there. Whether it is, organic or, bio, is something that will have to be seen. I think what we need to look at is what is eventually healthy and proven to be healthy. And some things that go organic are really good, but there are also times when organics can be a little difficult because you can get mycotoxins. And we as food producers, we understand some of the science behind it. But let's not dwell on that, and we're talking about marketing and trends here. I think health is definitely a huge trend for the future. And, going back to nature, to sustainable food, food comes through stress. So if you're going to have, chicken being farmed in a stressful environment and it's not open to free, or you're getting milk from a cow which is in a, cage, which is most likely what is happening today, and they are not free range, that really affects our health. So that's, but these are the scientific parts to it. And let's, I think, stick to the trends. I think trend is towards going the healthy route. Definitely, as so much information on the net. I think that's what we need to factor. There's too much information on the net. And, there's good information and bad. So we'll have to deal with all of them.
Okay, my last question before I, possibly if there is an audience question, I can take it, is you talked about sustainable business. Here also you talked about that capital is coming for growth. It's, if you had to put money where your mouth is, of course, literally in your case, where would be, what would be areas that you already talked about, this movement towards health, which I also talked of, but where would, what would be the area where you'd invest in growing the portfolio you have within your businesses or outside your business?
So I think, if you're looking at investment in something like a startup, you'll be looking at ideas that are, very, very innovative. Well, if health is an idea that is innovative and standing out and that it can be, taken ahead and grown dramatically, then that's the place where you would be. But I would reflect on almost anything, that creates that disruption in the market, creates a new value, is what you would look at. Well, if it's already been done and you want to do it again, that's the place where I don't think a startup should be.
Okay, please give Mr. Bector a big round of applause. He literally lives the life he's professed on stage. Any question for him? We can take the lady here.
Hi, hello everyone. I'm Saba Ahmed from Dream Folks. I'm a marketer by profession. So my question to you is that you talked about innovation, right? And the best, what I liked about your presentation was that veggie mayonnaise that you created. So that was a great idea because in the Indian market, it would be acceptable, right? But, apart from this innovation, any other innovation that you did is my first question.
Tons. I did not so much time to talk about it. Well, kettle chips made with olive oil. Opera, you might have experienced the brand at airports. That's another part of the story. Well, I should have touched a little bit upon it. So we were making Indian snack foods, and they were not selling. And you can't be a me too, and that's what I was trying to get across in my presentation and talk today. Paucity of time did not allow me to dwell too much on that. And many years down the line, I said, oh God, we are getting into the next glucose biscuit story that we'd earlier done with biscuits, and we have to break out of it. So actually shut that division and started a kettle chip brand called Opera, which my son took off, and well, it suffered a little bit during COVID, but it's back on the shelves again with renewed vigor. Struck its own journey and taken a huge recognition. So here's a chip brand that's selling at more than twice the price of Lay's and selling well. So innovation and delivering value is the key. So, and that's one place where we've done. Well, there have been numerous other small disruptions that we've done. Manufacture of Indian chutneys, for example, is another one. There are some other innovations that are more at the industrial level today, and they'll start getting into the retail market subsequently. So I think that part of the lesson in Cremica is well learned.
So my second question is that when you came up with this idea in 1996, if I'm not wrong, but you actually marketed and it started selling in the market
around 2006.
Oh, yeah. Why did it take so long?
Well, it was a food service business that was set up to serve McDonald's in India. And, getting into the market was a big challenge because there was a kind of an agreement that we will not sell to anyone else. So it was a journey to get them to understand that we have to do it. And at Cremica, we don't fight. We work with our partners and our customers to make sure the value is delivered to everyone. And I think we saw value in taking it to market together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.